This is a review of the all-new Kindle Paperwhite. Out of the box, you'll find the brand new Kindle Paperwhite. You can see how small it is. It's very nice looking. At the top here, you'll find a very brief set of instructions. I mean, it's absolutely minimalistic. And then underneath of the Kindle, when you lift it up, you'll find the USB charging cable that comes with it. But as you can see, there's no AC charger. The cable that you receive is a little over 60 inches long. And the Kindle Paperwhite actually weighs about 7 1/4 ounces. Here it's given me a brief introduction of what the Kindle Paperwhite can do. I'm going to touch Get Started. And I'm going to connect to the Wi-Fi. And it goes out and finds all the Wi-Fis in my neighborhood. And now I'm going to connect. See, I've typed in the password for our SSID. And I've clicked Hide Password. And now I just clicked Connect. And now you can see it's connecting to Amazon, and it's preparing to ask me to register my new Kindle. The screen is divided into segments. If you tap anywhere in this large area, you're going to go to the next page. Go back a page, you step over here to this side here, and touch this slice to go backwards. You'll tap at the top to display the toolbar. You see the toolbar has the ability to change sizes, to go to, open X-Way, to share, and all the controls to go back to home, for example, or to search or go shopping. See all the font options, the different sizes and the different types of font, and I want you to see how these very thin lines are crystal clear. I'll show you that the Kindle's Advanced Power Management allows you to leave the light on at all times and still preserve battery power. I'd like to point out that I'm in a pretty bright area, and you can see here I have a lamp above this lighting it, and even though this lamp is extremely bright, you're not getting a whole lot of glare on this because the screen is softly textured and it's crystal clear. There's also no dark spots, no discolorations as people have commented on the old design. As you can see, my books aren't loaded. It also gives suggestions at the bottom. I don't know why it's giving me romance novels because it's not what I read, but just to show you how quickly this thing responds. It's flipping over books that quickly. So the CPU is much faster than it was before. Top here you can see my home button, but importantly you're going to see my battery charge level and that my Wi-Fi is connected. If I come over here and touch cloud, I don't have books on here yet, and you can see my books pop up, and I have 118 pages of books, so there's quite a few that need to be added to this device. When I add World War Z, for example, I touch that and it says it's pending, it's connected, and it's now downloaded the book. And if I go over to on device, you can see it's already downloaded and installed. It was literally that quick. In the book, I will go to the last position where I was, and you can see how crystal clear and crisp the text is. It's really phenomenal. Like that, I can go to the top and touch this, and the bar comes up. I can come over here and touch the size of the text, and I can say I want something bigger, for example. And I can take a different type of text if I'd like Baskerville. And then it touches any place. And now it's enlarged the text, as you can see. And it's also changed the font style. And like I mentioned before, you just can't believe how crystal clear that is. See 3 different Kindles laying side by side. This is my trusty Kindle keyboard. I love this device. I've read hundreds of books on it. I love reading outside with it because the screen has no glare. So like right now you can see there's bright lights above this and you really don't see any of them. But the problem is I do most of my reading in the evening. It's either in low light or in dark, and I couldn't see it. Here you can see the Paperwhite, and these are about as close as I can set the fonts. They're a little bit different in size, but this font here is much crisper, much clearer than this. It's so much easier to read. This here is the Kindle Fire. I've had one since the day they first came out. This is a 2nd gen, but I have a 1st gen also. And this brightness here is set on about 70%, and you can see it's not bright. It's hard to read, and when you look at it, looking directly into it, the light from the screen comes directly out into your eyes. What I find is using this or an iPad, I was getting a lot of eye strain, and after about 20 minutes, my eyes were burning and watering, and I had to stop. That's why I bought this one, because I do most of my reading at night. You can see the same three Kindles in a room that's partially lit up, and you can see that the Kindle keyboard is just impossible to read, and it's not even dark in here. Here you see the Kindle Paperwhite, and it's as clear as it could be. Then over here you can see the Kindle Fire, but now the screen looks whiter because it's a lot darker in this room. In the other room, in the sunlight, it looked kind of pale. Far left here, that black spot, that's the Kindle keyboard, and that's exactly what you see in the dark. In the center here, you'll see the new Paperwhite, and the text is just crystal clear. It's just enough lighting to allow you to easily read it with no eye strain. And on the far right-hand side, you'll see the Kindle Fire, and you can see now how much brighter this is. And yes, I know you can adjust the brightness, but I could never find the sweet spot that made my eyes feel comfortable. After reading on this one over here for several minutes, my eyes just got tired and I stopped and would do something else. This one here is much more relaxing, and it's actually clearer than the Kindle Fire. Overall, I really love this device. It's got a lot of great features. It's not perfect, but it's probably the best e-reader available today. The pros: I can use a capacitive stylus on the screen. It has great battery life and charges fast. It's a perfect form factor and size to hold in my hand and fit easily. I don't need that stupid book-like that I had to clamp onto here to try to read that never worked well. It has faster page turning because of the way it works, and it just really works faster. You can see that. I'm already so used to it, I couldn't even turn the page over here because I wanted to show you that. But you can see how quickly it turns. It's just much faster. The connection to the Wi-Fi was faster and easier with a good strong signal. Downloading my book library is fast and easy. You saw it download a book. And even though the screen has a slight texture, it doesn't show my fingerprints on the screen. I'm constantly cleaning the screen on my Kindle Fire because it's like a mirror. And if you're outside in the sunlight, this is impossible to use. It still costs extra for a wall charger. I don't really need one. I've got drawers full of them at home that would work to charge that device. But it just seems odd that you buy an electronic device that doesn't come with a charger. They charge extra money to get rid of the pushes of advertisements to you. I think that's wrong. That's almost like blackmail. There's no speakers and no ability to have a book read to you. This will read books. This the memory to 2 gig, which only leaves 1.25 gig available. That means I can put about 1,100 books on there. I know that sounds like a lot, but I've got close to 800 books already, and memory's cheap. I just can't believe they did that. Well, this is an excellent product. I rate it as a 5-star item. If they thrown in the charger, made the memory a bit bigger, for example, I honestly think it would have been 10-star, but it's still the best e-reader out there right now. But I wish Amazon would just stop playing with the specifications and taking things away. To point out that I've done an extensive written review that gives an explanation of why I purchased this as compared to these other two. I also have a detailed comparison of the specs so you can see the differences. So it'd be nice if you take the time to look through that. The review is done by JJ CEO.